Hi, everyone, and welcome. This is another testimony interview. Today, I have the lovely Christie. She's a partner at a Big Four accounting firm. We've been working together, and I had to bring her on because her transformation, what she's experienced over the past year and a half almost that we've been working together, has really just been so impactful. So, welcome, Christie. Do you want to tell everybody who you are, what you do, a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Lauren. Hello, everyone. My name's Christy. As Lauren mentioned, I am a partner at a Big Four consulting firm. I'm in our consulting practice. I've been with the firm for 20 years now. And so I lead one of our global industry sectors. I have an account leadership role, but I'm also a wife and a mom of three young boys.
Amazing. I love it. And if you don't mind sharing, what are the ages? Because sometimes I think people assume, well, maybe having kids at a certain age is easier. So tell me how old your kids are right now, just so everyone can get an understanding.
Yes. So I did start my family later. So I do have three young boys. So my oldest is 8, and then my middle boy is 7, and then my youngest turns 4 on Saturday,
Amazing.
actually. Yeah.
That's so great. And because I know there's always this kids before 5 is really challenging to juggle, like raising young ones and build your career. So I'd love to talk about that in a little bit. But tell me about your experience before us working together. What was going on? What were you thinking about? What did you want to achieve?
So before we were working together, as I shared with you, kind of in the early days, was I was overwhelmed, honestly. I had three young kids. I was a newer partner, really trying to juggle it all, and my schedule was busy. I was at a point when I was still traveling, and honestly, I was burned out. I was run down, and I was at a point where I was thinking to myself, not only can I do this and can I do this job well, but do I want to do this? And so I would say, and Lauren, we've talked about this, is I waited too long to reach out for help. But when I did, and we'll talk about that more, it was really, really helpful and really impactful. But I was tired.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, what felt like when you say I waited too long, like what does that mean to you? You were like, were things getting worse? Were you just holding this like feeling of stress and overwhelm for a long time? Like what was that?
I think it was both. I think I was trying to hold it together externally so well that I was almost crumbling inside
Mm,
because I didn't have the energy. I wasn't spending time on myself. And I was still, while I felt super run down, getting the opportunities at work. And I was honestly given an additional leadership role at work. Something inside me felt like it wasn't good enough. And until I started to work with you, um, I didn't realize how to put into action some of the burnout that I truly had.
mm. How long now, somebody who might be listening to these like little context clues is like, wait, they've been working together for a year and a half. Tell me how long it actually took for you to start to move out of burnout. Did it take like a whole year and a half? Did it take a shorter period of time? What did that look like?
No, it did not take a year and a half to get just out of the burnout.
Some people want to know. It's
Fortunately,
fine.
fortunately, otherwise I think I need to have you move in with me. Um, no, I think let me start with this. When I had reached out for coaching, it didn't end up to be what I thought it would be. And so, yes, I reached out because I was burnout, and part of it was getting through that burnout. But I would say the first 6 months were really focused on that, right? How do I reprioritize? How do I block my calendar? Some of the tactical things that I knew I should have been doing all along, but I needed somebody to hold me accountable to get out of that burnout. And so I would say that was the first 6 months of truly just focused on that. And
Mhm.
then thereafter, it started to be much more of what I found to be most beneficial of the coaching was what it was a much deeper level. So
Mm.
I didn't think that I needed like to go deep until I really kind of continued the program. So
Yeah.
it
It's a
was an
normal
evolution and it was different
what?
phases. It was an evolution of coaching and it was different phases.
Yeah, because what happens is if we did that deep coaching on day one, I probably would have like knocked you completely over and out because it
Yeah.
we have to have that foundation of I almost say like when we try to build a house on quicksand, it'll never work. So what we did is like we worked on the burnout side for every client that comes in because if we don't address that, it's like that quicksand over and over again. So I love that you shared that. It's very normal, like in that 6 months to move through the burnout and out of it. And I love that like each iteration that we continued is just like a deepening of what you wanted that was in alignment of where we started and also where you're going. So very cool. So let's bring everybody into it more. So tell me what you've learned about yourself. What have you learned as you've been like building out your career? I mean, as you've been a partner this whole time in this journey, like even though the title hasn't changed, how you showed up has changed.
Yeah, I think I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot, and I've learned a lot about myself. So I think I know that I learned that I'm stronger than I believed, 18 months ago. Um, and that's a feeling inside. We talk, you and I, a lot about kind of the external versus the internal. And so what I think I've learned is it's important to find you're never going to find that balance, but it's the 50-50, right, of life. And so I've done a much better job of creating a routine and habits personally to give myself that space that I needed, right? Whether that's a routine in the evening to shut down and not work, right? Setting personal days for myself each month, or setting a set time with my kids to really be present. All of those things I knew I should have been doing, but I was not doing. And then I think in terms of like the deeper me, it was what do I really want, both out of life, kind of, and my job. And so my job was easier because I know where I want to go and what that career journey and path looks like. But for me personally, to be happy and internally inside confident, I needed to really dig deep on what that was. And so it was certain exercises, right, that we did together around being present, really taking the time for me, running models, and just really building that inner confidence that I quite honestly I didn't know I needed as much as I needed it. And that's been the greatest benefit of this coaching.
Yeah, it's like everybody comes because they want the tactics, right? But it's really having the mindset to support them that make it sticky or actually happen. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%.
So tell me about some of the successes because over the time we've worked together, there's like little things that are still major successes, and then there's like big things that are also successes. So give everybody a taste of what you've been celebrating since we've been working together.
So the little things, right, as I've mentioned, it's creating a nighttime routine of where I used to work late into the nights. I shut down my laptop at a certain time. I wind down. I make sure I go to sleep at the same time every night. And therefore, I wake up consistently the next day feeling more rested and ready to conquer the day. Health has always been very important to me and working out. I lost a little bit of that just through work and kid life. Now I'm working out consistently 2 days a week. And it may seem small, but for me, it was a big win. And I've also ran 2 races, which I hadn't done in many years. So that was kind of a nice win. It's small, but it's big. Um, I talked about my calendar. So Never did I schedule me days in the past. Now I will block my day and truly take the day off and spend the time for me, which is a huge win. And think I found that through that consistency and that routine of small steps, it's been extremely beneficial. So those are some of the small wins I would say
I love them.
um, that have been really impactful and
I
getting
have
my mind in
Go
a
ahead.
place where small is good, right? Small creates consistency, small creates behavioral change, right? And that was just a big hurdle that I needed to overcome because I'm always setting like these big goals that I think I need to have in life.
It's so true. I mean, I'll have so many clients who come to me who are like, I want to get back to working out 7 days a week. And it's like, all right, well, what if we started with like 1 day a week or 2 days a week? And I'll tell you, like, I mean, at this level and juggling family on top of all the other things, it can feel unrealistic. It's like a desire to work out every day a week, but like it can be unrealistic. And I have another client who celebrates that she was doing one Pilates class a week where she actually did like an in-studio class. And then maybe she'd squeeze in a couple like at home 15-minute rides. But like really to do that is significant because it's deciding that it's like a commitment that you're making to yourself. And it's something that you can do. And then it's something that you continue to follow through with. And that's why while it feels small, it's huge because it's the difference of I don't feel healthy because I'm not taking care of myself to I'm doing something every week. And in your case, you're doing something at least twice a week, every week. And that's why I think it's like, it's huge. It's small, but it's huge. I love it. I love it. Anything else you want to share that you're celebrating?
I'm celebrating a mindset shift, really,
Hmm.
that I can do this. I no longer feel like it's not an option to move forward with this big job that I have, plus raising a family, right? Plus trying to be a daughter and a sister and. Um, and I wake up feeling that way and I feel confident. Whereas 18 months ago, I didn't, right? I was a point of should I walk away?
Hmm.
Uh, so when we talk about kind of a big win, that's my biggest takeaway is just my total mindset shift, um, which has been truly a transformation in the 20 years that I've been at this job, right?
In some ways, it almost makes it a little easier.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I love it. So many good things. And that's where I'm like, I have even a whole list of things. I mean, I remember you were talking about like now you consistently wake up in the morning, the fact that you're logging off at night, like you're finding balance. It's so many good things that I love and how you've built. And that it wasn't in a day. You weren't on day two, like, all right, I've got this. It's like, let me start with this one thing and build on it step by step. And now, like, you're feeling the
Yeah.
impact of that, of the compounding growth. So I just love that for you. Yeah. So tell me, why has coaching been like a good decision? Why, when you were at that point a year and a half ago, you were like, all right, this is going to be right for me. And maybe thinking about it now, a year and a half later, of like, all right, why was it so good?
I think because I chose me. I made myself a priority. I had talked about it for a long time. My husband and I talked about it, but I finally took that step and I committed to me. And I feel like I recommitted to me every day, every week, right? And that was a journey through coaching with you. I did share in the beginning that it was coaching was different than I thought it was going to be, right? I knew I needed the tactical actions and being held accountable. But what I didn't know I needed was um, going that level deeper, right? And so I think what I've loved working with you is you do like you're a great listener. You're super calm. You create this like sense of positivity and you ask, I don't want to say the hard questions, but you get at the things that perhaps I didn't want to address before, which for me, if you just keep asking those questions or you ask it in a different way, you get to the root of what's really going on. And so if
Hmm.
you're talking about confidence, you may think very surface level, but you did such an amazing job where you would like keep asking the questions. And I'm like, ooh, yeah, that's actually what the problem is. I need to work on that. Right. And then we would pivot and then we would work on what that was, which then resulted in success. So when I say it was different, it just felt different because it got to, for the first time ever, like a deeper layer that I didn't think I needed because I thought I
Yeah.
could do it all. Right.
I love that because I'm thinking of like you a year and a half ago, or someone who's listening to this who's stressed and burned out, and they're like, wait, hard questions and like
Yeah.
the things. And it's like, I would say, I mean, what I hope for is like, I meet you where you're at. And I hope
Yeah.
you felt that way too, so that it's like, it's just challenging you enough in that moment to be like, how can I think about it a different way? If doing it this way that I've always been doing it isn't working for me because I'm burned out, what's that like first small step or
Yeah.
question that can move me in that direction?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you did that beautifully. And it worked, right?
it worked. It works. It works.
Worked.
Yeah. So if you're someone that's like, wait, hard and a lot and
No,
questions,
I
it's
don't
like,
mean hard. It's just, yeah,
no, it's
it's
good.
just asking things in different ways to open your mind of like,
Absolutely.
yeah, I do want to change, and here's how I can change, whether that's
Yeah.
big or small. It's intentional, and I wasn't
100%.
being intentional before.
Yeah. No, and I appreciate you saying that because it's like I think someone it's like what you want in that moment is to maybe recover from burnout, to know exactly the things you have to do in that moment. And you get that. And you realize what I actually need is this. So I love how you're saying that of like you're getting exactly what you want. So if you're someone feeling that and you're like, wow, there's a lot here, and you realize what you need here is actually the mindset shift. So that's what all my clients go through because the mindset is what landed us where we were, landed me in an emergency room, right? And it gets us
Yeah.
where we want to go, which is something way better than that. So yeah, so I appreciate that. That's amazing. So tell me what, if somebody who's sitting out there who's thinking of working with me, what would you say to them? Or what any advice you'd
Don't
give?
wait. Don't wait. That it's totally worth it. I am a strong believer that everybody needs a coach. And even more so now that I've gone through the last 18 months with you. I mean, I truly wish I would have raised my hand a lot sooner. And I did ask for help along the ways, right, periodically, but not in an intentional way to get a coach. Um, and it works. And I think as we've talked, it was a mindset shift. I was building small habits that then turned into big rewards. I looked forward to the time that we had together. Every time we talked, I walked away feeling stronger, feeling more confident, having an action plan to kind of go work on the next week or 2 weeks, whatever the time frame was. And having you there as somebody that I could ping, right? If I was feeling a negative thought, if I was not feeling confident that day, and we would work through it, right? And it was always like instantaneous after I had spent time with you. I was like, yes, I got this. Like I can kind of
Mhm.
move forward. And over time, it was like I didn't need that as much because I had built the behaviors and my mindset. So it was moving to like help to you saying, "You've got this, like, you've done an awesome job," type thing, which was such a shift.
I love it. This is all so good. This is all so good. I'm celebrating you. So tell everybody, maybe as you're coming towards graduation, what I call the end of the program, um, now what? How do you take these tools and keep them going? How do you not just make this a year and a half moment or a 6 month, anyone who comes into my program, it's a 6 month program. So like, how do you continue it? Because so many of my clients say years later, like, oh, I'm feeling it. What do you feel like you're going to hold on to and bring with you on the road ahead?
I think it's in me, right? Now that I've been through this program for me and what I needed for 18 months, it is the new me. So I feel like the best gift that I can get to take away from this is that new mindset, right? That new level of confidence. However, I do have certain tools in my toolbox that I can use now and reference over the last 18 months, right? Whether that's the intentional motto that we talk about all the time and kind of working through that when I need to. It's going back to weekly planning on what's on my plate. Where do I need to block time? Where do I need to create me time? It's the small things that we've used over the last 18 months that I can carry forward when I need it. But I think for me, the biggest thing is just feeling it, right? And I didn't have that before. So
Hmm. Well, I'm celebrating you. This is amazing. Watching you develop in the past 18 months, being knowing you for years prior to that. So it's just been so special to see where you've been, where you were when we reconnected, where you're going. And I'm just championing you each and every step of the way. So thank you so much for sharing your story with us. If there's anything else, let me know if there are you feel complete now, or is there anything else you'd like to share? Otherwise, we're good on my side.
no, I feel good, right? And I think that's the best position that I can be in. And a huge thanks to you. You've been amazing, absolutely amazing. You are phenomenal at what you do. So
Thank you so
I would
much.
not be where I am today without you. So as I graduate, I'm excited, but as I also shared, I'm kind of like, I'm going to miss my Lauren time.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. I'm celebrating you. This is amazing. I can go on for hours and hours just going into like all of Christie's wins, but just to see the transformation, it's not about the title, it's not about the pay, it's about who you are on the inside. And that's been the funnest journey to watch and witness as you developed into mom of babies to like young kids, and to even see you have evolved from young partner to mature partner, and to just see every step of the way. So celebrating you. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you everyone for listening in.
Thank
Bye.
you. See ya.